Hello and welcome to Euphoria. In this video I'll continue my series about developing the concept, design and build for a LEGO creation of my own design, a MOC. I'm designing a new building for my LEGO city. It will be a modern multi-storey office building that will be used as a research institute. I call this the Ensgrave building. In this video, which is part 9 of the series, we'll take a look at the final design of the building and its interior. In previous videos we looked at the inspiration behind this MOC, the development of the concept for the building, consideration of various options and the development of the design. I also did some prototyping work to check the strength of the build and to see how the design looked. If you haven't seen them yet, you might want to look at the previous videos to get an idea of what this building is about. There's a link to the playlist in the card above and links to the videos in the description. This video will be followed by further videos in which I will be procuring the parts and then building this MOC. Look out for those coming up. In this phase of design, I'm going to try to finish off the design of the building and its interior. So in this video I need to finalise the design by adding some finishing touches such as fixtures and fittings like restrooms and any fixed internal elements like partitions and doors, any fixed parts of the equipment that goes inside the building such as lab equipment, what furniture to put inside the building. As this is an office building and a research institute, there's likely to be a lot of desks and chairs. I'll also look at what minifigs I need to represent the different roles, jobs and activities inside the building, and look at final choices for colours and parts and any other decisions to finalise the design, including the exterior finishes of the building. All of those factors go into producing the final design, and I call this the F phase of the design process. I already have some of the parts I need for this building, including some minifigs that I've obtained during the design process. This will all build on the design work done so far, which I described in the previous videos in this series. Before I start on the final stage of design, I'll just remind you about the main features of this building that have been developed so far. It's going to be a straight modular building. That means it needs to follow the modular building standards and be able to connect to a modular building at each side. The building will be quite large. It will be built on a 48 stud wide base plate and will be 5 stories high, which will amount to about 70 bricks and a height of 67 centimetres. The building is quite modern in style and has a profile which includes sloping and curved panels at the front and curved panels at the back. To create a modern style, I created a structure for this building with large glass areas for the walls and a girder and beam structure to provide support. The building will have an external elevator that runs on tracks up and down the back of the building. I tried out the track system and elevator by building a prototype system. It seems to work okay, so I'm going to continue with that in the final design. In the previous video I added quite a lot of details and decided on the interior layout for the building. This gave me a good idea of the fixtures and fittings that I need in the final design. So now let's finish off the design for this MOC. I'll be covering several topics in this video, So if you're interested in a particular aspect, just go to that chapter using the selection bar at the bottom of this video. Otherwise, we'll run through them as follows: fixtures, fittings, furniture, figs, and finishing touches and final details. I'm going to start the final design by considering the fixtures required inside the building. I like to make interiors for my MOCs, and that's especially important for this building because most of the interior of this building will be visible through the large areas of glass panels. So the fixtures and fittings will be quite important to the build. The building was designed around a girder and beam supporting structure, which could be open plan, or it could provide a flexible interior structure. So internal walls are not load bearing. So I've included mostly glass partitions internally between areas and to separate meeting rooms, offices and labs. I've used 4x6 frames and 3x4 frames for this. Up to now I've used the same light bluish grey frames as the external windows, but now I've decided to change them to white so that all the internal walls and the window and door frames will be white. As we saw in the detailed design, there will be a restroom on each floor, accessible from the lobby area. Inside, all the restrooms are the same. They'll have a simple toilet and wash basin arrangement. There are a couple of areas of the building that need specialised air conditioning. There's a specialised aircon for the clean room on the first floor. This is part of the Material Sciences lab. I've put the equipment for this in between the ground and first floors where there was a void above the restroom. Internal and external ducting takes the air between the clean room and the machinery space. There's also air conditioning on the roof, which supplies the computer room on the fourth floor, again via external ducting. Now I'll move on to fittings. There will be several fittings around the building to support the users and their activities. There will be a reception desk built into the reception area on the ground floor. There will be coffee machines and water fountains in various places around the building. There's a vending machine in the rest and guest area on the ground floor. This is my design, but I see that there's a similar one in the new LEGO City Noodle Shop set, so I might have a look at how they built that one. There's a multifunction printer and copier for the office area, and there will be several lab areas that need specialised equipment for experiments and research. In the Life Sciences lab there will be couches for studying human physiology, there will be plant study equipment and a workbench and further lab equipment. The Material Sciences lab is where new materials and processes can be investigated and developed. Part of this lab is a clean room area. I already have several items that I can use for this area. There's the trolley with the special geode piece for examining minerals. There's a meteorite that can be examined, and this piece of equipment from the LEGO Avengers Tower battle set for processing new materials. In the robotics lab, there's a central control area and a separate safe area for developing and testing droids and robots. There's just a few fixtures in this area. There's some control and monitoring equipment in the control area. I've put railings all around the outside of the robot area to stop them bashing into the glass. And inside I've put some steps and some rough ground to test out the robots and droids. The Energy Research Lab is a lab exploring new sources of energy. I have this piece of equipment from the Avengers Tower battle set, and I'm also developing more equipment to go into this area. There'll be a large synchrotron type apparatus and quite a bit of pipes and other supporting machinery. In the media centre, I've added a control desk to manage any recordings or broadcasts being made from here. As far as normal furniture goes, much of the building will be used as office space, so I will have some simple office desks with computer screens and keyboards for the employees. There'll be meeting room tables and chairs for the meeting and conference rooms. And for executive chairs, I'm going to use these, again from the Avengers Tower battle set. In a couple of places in the building, I need a couch or sofa for the use of visitors, guests or staff, so I designed these. Now I'll look at minifigs. This is an office building and a research institute, so I need to populate it with minifigures that are appropriate to the different functions of the building and the activities that are going on there. It's quite a big building, and while I don't want it stuffed with minifigs, I will need quite a few to make it feel more alive and show the activities that are going on. In the Research Institute, I want to use the minifigures and accessories from the Space Research and Development People Pack. This provides a variety of interesting people and activities to populate the building. In the labs, I can use lots of the minifigs from that people pack. The male welder and the female engineer in dark blue outfits, and the robot will go in the robotics lab. In previous hauls, I got another 2 of these engineer figures. They're actually ground crew figures, but these come with white helmets. They'll probably go in the same area. I'll use the male and female minifigs in orange spacesuits for the clean room area in the Material Sciences lab, or I might use the drone operator with his jumpsuit and elasticated cap, and maybe see if I can get another one of those. The female scientist, the female personal trainer with the red cap, and the minifigure in the blue spacesuit can probably go in the Life Sciences lab. There are 2 male trainees and a female one that I'm going to use as technicians in the Energy Research Lab, and the cameraman and the interviewer will go in the Media Centre. But I might need some more minifigs for the audience. I also already have some other minifigures that I can use. On the ground floor there's a security room where the security team can monitor the building, and a place where security passes can be issued to visitors and staff. As you may have seen from my previous videos, I have a couple of security guard minifigs that will go here. These are made from the Robo SWAT minifigures from the LEGO movie, and I'll change them up with normal minifig heads instead of the robot ones like this. In previous hauls I've bought a couple of other minifigs that might be useful. This GPL technician from the LEGO Ninjago movie, who I thought would go well in the computer suite, I've also managed to get a couple of minifigs from the Build a Minifig area in a local LEGO store. I got this mad scientist figure that can go in one of the labs, and I also bought a mechanic with a toolbox, so I'm going to use him to add more interest to the roof. I will need to look for some more minifigs, which I can obtain during the procurement for this MOC. On the ground floor there's a reception area. So for this area I need a minifig to use as a receptionist and another one to use as a visitor at reception. This floor also has a rest and guest area for relaxed seating for staff and visitors. There's a couch, a plant, a vending machine and a coffee machine and some seating. So I think I'll need at least one minifig for this area to be a member of staff on their break. And for the office area I need a few office workers and research assistants. So altogether that's about 18 minifigs that I already have and about another 12 that I need to find. So with 30 minifigs, that's an average of 6 on each floor, which I think will look like a pretty busy and active research institute. Now there are just a few final details. On the roof, because it's a fairly tall building, I'm going to add aircraft warning lights. We've already seen there's a satellite dish and some communication equipment. On the exterior of the building, I don't want to make any more changes to the structural design, but there are some small changes to the exterior. At the back, I'll provide some protection for the area where the lift will descend onto the ground floor. And I'm going to add a few exterior details around the entrance to the building. I'll be arranging to hang this symbol or sign over the front door, and I'll add a sign outside the front entrance to show the name of the building and its purpose. And then, as for most modular buildings, I'll add a street light at the front on the pavement or sidewalk, but because this is a 48 stud wide building I should really have 2 street lights. So now I've pretty much got the final design for this MOC. This is quite a large MOC and there's a lot of detail, so it's taken me a while to work through everything I need to finish this off. I think this will make a really interesting building, not only for the exterior shape and appearance, but also the details of the interior and the activities that will be visible within the building. In this final design phase, I've covered several areas of the design that needed finalising. I've covered the fixtures, fittings, furniture, figs, and the finishing touches and final details that I need to finish off this MOC. The next stage is to finalise the list of parts that I need to make sure I've got everything I need for this rather large MOC, and then get on with the procurement phase. So look out for the next videos in this series, in which I will look at procuring all the elements I need and starting on the build itself. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos about LEGO modular buildings and my LEGO city.